So, you want to sell art posters online. It sounds pretty straightforward, right? But turning that amazing creative idea into a real profitable business, well, there are a few things to know. In this explainer, we're going to walk you through it step by step. Let's get started. On the surface, it seems almost too easy. You just pick a design you love, get it printed, throw it up on a website, and then just wait for those orders to start rolling in. But, if it was really that simple, everyone would be doing it and making a fortune. The reality is just a little more involved. Because once you actually begin, these are the questions that can really keep you up at night. Like, where do you legally get your artwork? How do you set a price that actually makes you a profit instead of just covering costs? And a big one, how in the world do you package these things so they don't show up looking like a crumpled mess? Most importantly, how do you build a real brand that people trust, not just a little side hobby? Don't worry, we're going to cover all of that. So here's our game plan for today. We'll start by helping you find your specific niche, then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of printing and product choices. After that, we are going to tackle pricing and how to set up your digital shop. We'll also cover shipping and marketing, and then finally, we'll look at a really simple way to get your store online without all the usual tech headaches. Okay, first things first. Success in this game is not about trying to sell everything to everyone. It's about selling the right things to the right people. You just can't compete with the giant online stores on volume, but you can absolutely win by being focused and curated. Now check this out. See how a tiny shift in language changes everything? Just saying you sell posters, that's so vague, but UK city posters for thoughtful gifts? Boom. I immediately know exactly who you are and what problem you solve. You're not just selling decor, you're selling a perfect gift for someone who loves their hometown. That kind of focus, that's your superpower. And that leads right into this next step, writing what I call a shop promise. It's just one sentence that defines your entire brand. It tells you what designs to pick, how to write your descriptions, and who you're trying to reach. It's basically your North Star, and trust me, it makes every single other decision so much easier. So where do the designs actually come from? You've got 3 solid legal options. First, create your own. That gives you total control. Second, you can license artwork from other artists, which lets you act more like a curator. And third, you can use the public domain for amazing vintage styles. But, and I really gotta stress this, you must double-check the commercial usage rights. Just because an image is old doesn't automatically mean it's free to use for your business. Don't take that risk. All right, let's talk about turning those digital pixels into actual paper. This is the moment your idea becomes a real physical thing that someone is going to hang on their wall. And this is where quality is absolutely non-negotiable. Customers can feel flimsy paper and they can see faded colors instantly, and your reviews will definitely reflect. You have 2 main paths you can take here. Print on demand is amazing for starting out. You upload a design and a partner company prints and ships it only when you get an order, so 0 upfront cost. The other way is batch printing, where you print a whole bunch of your bestsellers yourself. It costs more upfront, but your profit margin is way healthier. You know what a really smart approach is? Use print on demand to test which designs are winners, and then move those winners over to batch printing. And please, don't overwhelm yourself or your customers with a million options. Start with just 2 great paper choices. Matte feels modern and premium, perfect for those minimalist styles. Satin has a little bit of a sheen that makes bold colors really pop. And for sizes, keep it simple. A4, A3, and maybe A2 is a perfect starting point. It simplifies your pricing, your packaging, everything. Okay, you've got your niche, you've got your product. Now, let's make sure you actually build a business that makes money. This part is all about the little details on your site that turn a casual browser into a confident buyer. Now, here's a huge point that trips up so many new sellers. Your price is not just the cost of the print, plus a little bit extra. It has to cover everything. That sturdy shipping tube, the postage, the payment processing fees, the occasional replacement you have to send out, and yes, your own time. You're trying to price for a sustainable business, not just to be the cheapest option out there. Now, let's talk product descriptions. A customer lands on your page and they see this, a beautiful print, inspired by nature's poetry. I mean, it sounds nice, but it tells me absolutely nothing useful. It doesn't help me decide if this is right for my home. It's poetic, sure, but it doesn't actually sell. Now compare that to this one. This description is like a silent salesperson working for you 24/7. It answers every single question a customer might have. What style is it? Where would it look good?
What paper is it on? What sizes are there? And it tells me right away that the frame isn't included and that it'll ship safely. This isn't just a description, it's a confidence builder.
You made the sale. Awesome. Now for the last and maybe most critical steps. Getting that poster to your customer in perfect condition, and then finding your next customer. Your reviews and your whole reputation really depend on getting this part right. You've basically got two options for shipping. Tubes are fantastic for protecting larger prints from getting creased, but the downside is the poster arrives a bit curled. Shipping flat is great for smaller A4 prints so they're ready to frame, but you have to use really stiff, reinforced mailers to stop them from bending in the post. A good rule of thumb is to ship A4 prints flat and everything bigger in a tube. And how do people actually find you? You do not need to be posting on social media 17 times a day. Instead, just be helpful. Show a before and after of a blank wall. Show people how to build a cool gallery wall with your prints. Create content around themes, like a home office refresh. Your marketing shouldn't be about shouting into the void. It should be about inspiring people and solving their bare wall problem. Okay, so we've covered the what and the why. But for a lot of creative people, the biggest hurdle is the how. Specifically, how do you actually build an online shop without getting totally lost in code and plugins and all that tech stuff?
I mean, does the thought of setting up payment gateways and shipping zones and legal pages just feel completely overwhelming? That's a really common feeling, and honestly, it's the technical hurdle that stops so many great ideas from ever getting off the ground.
This is where done-for-you services can be a real option to look into. For instance, a service like Make Local for Global is built on a really simple idea. They build the professional e-commerce site for you so you can focus on the creative side of things, finding great designs, taking photos, and talking to your customers. Their model, for example, is designed specifically for startups. For a yearly fee, you get the whole setup, the hosting, and the support included. Looking into an all-in-one package, whichever one you choose, can be a great way to remove that huge initial tech barrier. So, let's put it all together in a simple launch checklist. First, define your niche. Then, launch with a small, focused collection. Keep your product options really simple. Price for profit, not just to break even. And encourage bigger orders by creating bundles. But above all, just be helpful. That's your plan. And that brings us to our final and maybe the most important point of all. Remember, you're not just selling ink on paper. You're helping someone create a feeling in their home, whether that's calm or energy or nostalgia or joy. So the real question I want to leave you with is this: what feeling will your shop sell? Thanks so much for joining me for this explain.